The Anker C1000 is a 1 kilowatt hour solar power station. Although older, it's still worth it. My bottom line up front, if you can find this unit between $429, $479, it's a buy it now price. Compared to some of its competitors, it's still swinging, still hitting really hard, although it's a little bit older. If that's all you need to know about this unit, then check the links down below. Click some of those, check them out. Most will be affiliate links, but go forth, make your purchase. But if you want to know what I do and don't like about this unit, how it performed for my tests, then stick around. Anker sent this unit out to me. This is not a sponsored video. They didn't get to see the video before I posted it. Matter of fact, they're seeing it the first time with you guys. The 1 kilowatt hour solar power stations is very popular. Opus makes them, Ocotel, EcoFlow, Dapson, Anker. A lot of folks make these. You can use them for emergency situations. You can use them for everyday use. You want to hook up a coffee mess to them, or you want to hook up a CPAP machine. These things are very popular for that. This does have it's great for indoor or outdoor use. Hook up a T-ball machine for a practice for baseball. Hook up, all sorts of things you can do with these versus just buying them, turning them off, stick them in a garage and waiting for your lights to go out. I think that if you're just looking for emergency power, that might work. But I mean, you're spending $400, $500 on something like this. Use it. Don't buy this at full retail price. It's retailing $799. If you buy it at that price for a unit that's older, then I got a bridge I can sell for you. Okay, so let's just not do that. So first off, reading some very boring specs to you. It is a 1,056 watt hour capacity. It's expandable up to 2,112 watt hours through the battery expansion port on the side. That's another area where it's showing its age, because some of its competitors in this same size unit can go over 3 kilowatt hours. This one cannot do that. However, it does have fast charging capabilities. 43 minutes gets you 80% capacity. If this thing is at 0%, it can charge fully in about an hour. So one thing on the side here, you do have your solar input, 600 watts of solar input. Another area where it's showing its age, because some of its competitors can do up to 1,000 or 800 or whatever. But hey, it still has 600. That's really good. That's going to get you approximately a little bit less than 2 hours. If you have a solar panel that's able to pump out 600 watts, there you go. You have a reset button for the AC inverter. Then you have your AC import, the AC input rather, which this thing can fast charge very, very quickly from if you plug this into your grid power. Very front here, you do have your car socket port. It's going to allow for you to output up to 10 amps to your different devices. So if you have a immersion heater, or if you have a electric blanket, a coffee maker, that type of stuff you can use there. All right, it also has a flashlight here. You turn this on, it's a warm light. It does different settings. I like the fact that it does include a flashlight. Nice to illuminate. Like, imagine you have this in the back of your SUV or whatever. Then you can have this thing turn on. You can see everything that's back there. Has two USB-C ports. One outputs at 100 watts. The other one could do 30 watts. Two USB-A ports. All of this has the IQ technology that Anker has. It does have the port here that lets you turn on the wireless capability, so you can connect this to the app. You can turn that off if you don't want to use it. So whatever you see fit. A reset little pin here. So if the actual technology of the unit itself needs to be reset, push this. It's going to reset the screen and all that good stuff. It is using a 6 AC outputs here available, all 15 amps, which give you the option to plug up plenty of stuff. I think it's complete overkill to have 6. But, that's going to be something that may be useful for you. So you can plug up all the different things at your picnics and all that good stuff. Nothing on the front. Does have the fans on the side, input, output, nothing on the back. It is using LiPo4 batteries, which means over 3,000 recharge cycles before the batteries even get to 80% battery degradation. That's pretty good. So you're going to get tons of years, at least 8-10 years out of this thing for recharging over and over and over again. The unit itself, I do believe it needs a lot of work when it comes to its app. So the app itself, so here you can control the AC charging. You can control the device timeout, which is 12 hours. If there's nothing plugged up into it, the device will just time itself out after 12 hours. You can have a carport power saving mode, smart AC output mode, which knows if it has low input coming from the wall, the charging would just turn off. It has an SOS light mode, which you can turn on with the app, screen brightness, screen timeout, and then you can do your firmware updates. The reason I show you the app is that there's a lot of things this does not have in the app that its competitors have. If you want to limit the recharge to 90% or 80% to try to preserve the battery, you can't do that with the app. If you don't want it to drain below 10% because you want to preserve the batteries, you cannot do that with the app. If you want to set this on a schedule, maybe you have this plugged up into a kettle or a coffee, an espresso machine or a coffee maker, and you don't need those things turned on at all times, or you want them to automatically turn on at a certain time. If this was plugged up into the wall, it would be nice to be able to tell this machine to turn on the AC inverter at a certain time and turn it off at a certain time. You can't do that with this. So the app is an area where it's lacking quite a bit. And so if you're looking for all the features, I love all those features. If you're looking for those type of features, that's where this unit may not work for you. But if you're just looking for features where it just works, we can talk about some of the testing that I do for these units. So first off, we're going to talk about my AC drainage test. When I hooked this up, I was able to get 918 watt hours. I did this 3 times. I gave you the worst result, 918 watt hours out of 1056. That puts this thing at 87% for its capacity testing. That's phenomenal. It's beating out some of its competitors in the same category when it comes to EcoFlow, whether it's the Delta 2 or the Delta 3 Plus. That's a really, really high test. 87% out of the AC inverters is really, really good. For the DC drainage test, which I normally expect to do pretty good as well, this thing is where I hook up into the car socket port and I drain the unit very slowly via 10 amps, and then I go down to 6 amps, and I may do this test multiple times. I got 880 watt hours out of 1056. That's 83%. Still pretty good. I do look for those tests to get above 85%, but very, very good. So my overall score for this and the value right now, if you buy this at $499, which is above the recommended price that I recommend, but I wanted to just show you that's 47 cents a watt hour. That's what I'm saying. If you can get this at $479, $429, where this thing is creeping between 42 and 47 cents a watt hour, it's even more valuable. That puts the overall score for this unit at 86%. It's a B plus. The app needs some work. I don't really score the app, but if I was scoring the app, I would probably bump this down more because it could use a lot more features with inside the app itself. But Anker is a very, very reliable company. They stand behind their name. It comes with a good warranty. If you're looking for a unit, if you've had your eye on this unit, you already have some Anker products, you're already using the Anker app, maybe you just want to snag this for those particular reasons. And me personally, I like a lot of features on my units. So if it were my money, I wouldn't probably spend more than $430 on this thing because I do want to be able to use this in my daily life. And a few things it doesn't have kind of do concern me. One last kind of save round is I do wish it had a cover for these ports here. I understand that it does have it can use indoor, outdoor use, but I do have a peace of mind if it has some type of cover for this unit here. So just to be able to cover those ports, especially if I'm not using them, if I'm just taking this thing out and I don't want somebody to accidentally plug something into it. People do silly stuff at picnics and parties, and I just don't want anything like that happening. What are your thoughts on the Anker C1000? Plenty of reviews out on this thing. My recommendation is go for it if this is something that you know you want or that you need. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.